Okay, military history. Guys, our country is called Iran in Shahnameh. Guys, our country was called Iran Shah during Sasanian period. Iran in Shahnameh is called directly Iran.
I know. No.
Yes? So Persian, Greeks called us Persian. And Pars and Parsis, I mean, this is, this is something, I mean, regarding what you said, on this channel we had Professor Majid Sharifi, sorry, Professor Sharifi, and also a geostrategist who said exactly in the United States, a big geostrategist, an Iranian American with a big caliber, very intellectual, very experienced, tons of publications. He said the same thing as you said. It doesn't matter to which party you belong. When England or United Kingdom, the one you want to call it, was attacked by Germany, they all unified. That's the nature of things, right? And the unification during wartime is a phenomenon which happens in, as far as I know, every country. And calling and asking for a country to be bombed by some foreign powers, I don't know, I have to say something, look, as okay, I talked with, I mean, some scholars here, also geostrategists and political scientists. And I normally always stick to the military because to me, military history or martial arts are very honest. There is no time for talk. You fight. When I
Yes.
write about swords, I know, and then we practice that. We know, okay, this is an old sword. We make a reproduction, the way it cuts. When we put on armor, the armor is 32 kilos, and you need muscle to carry that. And we do endurance tests. When we pull a bow, which is 120 pounds, everything aches in your body. No time to talk, no time to pretend. So I'm not into politics, right? Because in politics, you talk a lot, right? Let's put it that way, as you mentioned that. But guys, let me just say something to you. At least in the areas, and I know many people from different militaries in the world, and I think I told Arash, I know many guys are quite high ranking in the American army. I know in the Russian army, I was 7 times in Ukraine, invited by the Ministry of Defense for all these antique arms and armor. Ukraine, many countries, many countries. And the way you are respected in our circle, is when you stick to your country, when you're proud of your country. No one in the military circles and arms and armor research, let me talk about the field I know. Everyone hates traitors. No one respects traitors. They respect you much more if you stick to your country and the culture. I can talk about my field. Have not been involved in politics and will not be, but in the field I am. This is a no-go. You just, I cannot even believe this. This is something, I just need to say what Arash says. How many, look, in the area what we are active. I write also for museums. I work for museums. This sword comes from this, and also auction houses. Christie's, Sotheby's, rich people collect these things, right? So I write analysis for them. Do you know how many top collectors, and these guys are big guys, because if you collect antique arms and armor, you need to have lots of money. This is not a rich man's hobby, as we say. How many of them contacted me? Let me just exactly say without exaggeration. Canada, United States, Japan, China, Russia, Ukraine, Mongolia, Kuwait, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Tanzania, almost all European countries contacted me saying, Dr. Khorasani, could you explain to us how could it be that some Iranians outside ask for the country to be bombed? And Arash, I need to say, Tanzania, why? A collector in Tanzania contacted me that the biggest pride in Tanzania in history was to have shamshir, Persian sword. Tanzania. And the collector there contacted me. So we are talking about Africa, Europe, oh, South America, I forgot, Mexico, South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, everyone asking me. And I tell you something. Oh, you are into military and history and all these things. Explain to us because we cannot understand. Do you know, Arash John, how much I had to wrestle with myself to find an argumentation? And as an academic, I always thought I'm good at presenting because I teach my students. I thought I can give good speeches, but I didn't know what to say, what to write.
I'm 100% on the same page with you. I'm Manushaj, and I'm fully embarrassed, to be honest, as an Iranian. I repeat, we are Iranians. It doesn't matter if you, people ask me really from around the globe. I always give the example of Kurdish people in Turkey. They have been fighting the Turks for roughly, I don't know, 500 years. You know better than me. But they would never beg other countries to bomb their own country.
No.
They would not. They're too pride. They're just, that's their country, you know. And this is something is really heartbreaking. And yeah, I was going to say about this these exiled people. Guys, just be proud of what you are, what your country is. Don't need to present yourself in another way. Don't you need to, I don't call it adaptive or flexible or adaptable. I don't call it that. I call it, I don't know how to call it. I don't want to use the wrong term. Those people, in my opinion, are not Iranian. And I repeat again, it's not only about Iranian. And that was one of my questions in one of my videos, asking, show me another country aside Iranians out of the 210 countries in the world who beg the Western to bomb their people. And I will be along with you fighting for it. There is no, it is not possible. This is not, this is simply no go. It's your motherland. You cannot betray your mother and your land and your motherland. It's not possible because somebody who betrays his mother or his land, he easily betrays his friends. He easily betrays his, yeah. So there is nothing above your mother and motherland. So it is simple. So this is something really breaking for me, manager, honestly. But I see people turning away now from Pahlavi because he went too far. Yes. And he was advocating this for too long time. He was advocating people to go in front of the bullets during the demonstration and protests. And you know, it's really sad time, not only as an Iranian, for the entire Middle Eastern people. It's not a good time at the moment.
I need to mention, because then I would like to come back to Gandhi because I watched your video. Actually, it's very interesting because Instagram gave me recommendation of that video, of what you posted on Gandhi from the Gandhi Hospital. That's why I contacted you. But I will come back to it, you know, how things are. But regarding police, okay, guys, if you come to this channel, and I just mentioned his name because he's also on this channel. Actually, to give you one example, Captain Richard Nabel, a very famous sniper master of police, head of Atlanta Police Sniper Masters. So, what are sniper masters? Sniper masters in hostage situation, when there is bank robbery, when there is jewelry robbery, these guys go and wait. And then the rest, I don't want to go into detail because we're on YouTube, right? But you know that, right? So, if the negotiator cannot resolve anything, they resolve it in different way, right? Put it that way. So he was on his channel, and he also teaches at the police academy. So as a instructor and professor, so he's also academically published a lot. I think in FBI bulletin, many bulletins in the U.S. He's a good friend of mine. He is also arms and armor researcher, and you're going to be surprised. A couple of years ago, Parse Journal in Iran, which is of National Museum of Iran, asked me, Manusha, can you bring arms and armor researchers across the planet? I said I would bring to one issue, and I said I would bring Ukrainians, Russians, and I said, you can? Oh, they're all, I know both sides. Americans, you can, Americans, as a head of Atlanta Police Force, will publish in Tehran. I did it. China, I brought everyone. And, I think this is one of what I'm so proud of, that one big guy in the US was proud to, and we are not talking about someone, Arash, who was selling something, sausages, excuse me. We are talking about someone who is a sniper master of Atlanta Police. You know how sensitive this job is. He said he's proud to publish in Iran. He wrote actually about bronze swords from Iran because he's an expert of bronze, right? And so, very good article, very good researcher. And also, well, he's head of sniper master. You know what I mean? These guys. Okay. I mean, when you look at Richard, when you look at all this and you talk about on this channel, you can find lots of videos. He talks about hostage situations, how you should behave, policing, if you're taking hostage, resistance. If some people don't listen to you as a police force. He also has many books. Everything, the solution of American police, let's put it that way. What do you do if someone pulls a knife? American police shoots you.
Right away.
Right away. Right away. I need to say this to you. There are some scenes which, because, okay, I have to say it. I'm more familiar with American police officers, American military. I know also some in Europe, but most in the US. I know most US and Russia, but also I know in Europe. But anyhow, you see, so for example, are some scenes in the UK where there is a guy with a machete running after police officers, and the police officers run around the police car, and the guy runs after them 2 or 3 times. This never happens in the US. You lived in the US, you know how they sing a song, right? You're out, right? Immediately. And now, I'm not saying I endorse it. I just want Iranians in Iran to know from someone who knows people from this area, not from somewhere in the newspaper, really from, really from mouth of the horse, really what's going on. For example, a kid, a teenager, I don't endorse it, I don't support it, pulls a knife, shoot him. So the question for me as an experienced fighter and martial artist is, I know knife is dangerous even if a teenager had, but I could take it maybe to take it out empty-handed, but they don't even risk that. They shoot you. Now, I have to say something to you. The way police officers in Iran react in many situations I've seen, this is non-existent in the US. The
There's not.
slightest threat, they kill you. Now, if you think it's only US, I have to say now we both live in Germany, but I know also people in Germany who are. I know also people in Germany who are in this area and who are in this area and who work there. But even here, if the police comes and feels threatened, even in Germany, you attack them, they shoot you. In UK, they might run 2 or 3 times with a knife, but if he pulls a gun, they call special forces because the average police doesn't have a gun. They kill you. This is the response of police officers everywhere. And I do not understand why Iranians do not understand. You attack the police, they kill you. Do I endorse it or not? That's another thing, right? I don't want to discuss about that because he's always close to police officers, always defends police, right? I don't want to talk about that, right? I don't claim to be a revolutionary because I'm not. But one thing which is extremely important to take into consideration is this is the response of law enforcement. This is the response of law enforcement.
Consequence. Just consequence. That's it.
Yes. So I just need to mention that to you. So if someone goes and encourages some young people to go and rise up and go against something, and then this person is absolutely responsible for these actions. Completely responsible. Completely responsible.
After they had issued the order of shooting, after the government had issued already, the
I didn't
government.
know that. I didn't even know that.
The government said stay home. They went with the cars to the street. People go home. It's military action. We have the right to shoot. Stay home. Anyway,
Arash, just one question. In front of this Gandhi, there is a video also on our channel where I show it. This was a hospital, am I correct?
yeah.
God.
And the bomb was dropped just inside the hospital. And now I have heard a lot of accusations. You're working with government. You're this. A lot of cursing. A lot of threatening by Pahlavi people. And just because of this one sentence, when I said you are not an Iranian if you raise a flag of somebody who would do that to your country. And some people said yes, they were hidden weapons underneath. The others said they had their meetings underneath. The others said they wanted to bomb something else and they bombed. So all these excuses, they don't count for me. In the end, there was a building destroyed. This building, the purpose of this building was to cure people, to heal people. And contrary, people were killed in this building. So that is all I can say. I cannot advocate such, not as an Iranian, not as an Ukrainian, not as any citizen in any country of the world.
I mean, so what is the excuse for killing 178 schoolgirls in Mina? Double tap. I just heard from a guy in the military in the US. This was not even double tap. This was triple tap. This was not even double tap. This was triple tap. So, guys, for everyone here, I mean, I know many of you are from military or police, and many, okay, but not everyone. Some of you are collectors, some of you are researchers from other field watch this channel. What is double tap? Okay, guys, double tap is you shoot a missile, a rocket, this goes and destroys the building, and you wait. After you shoot a missile, there is a shock wave. Shock wave is, okay, let's put it that way. Let's forget the civilian. Let's go to the military. So let's talk to the military guys here. You all know what the double tap is. Double tap is, I know that the enemy soldiers are hiding there. So what you're going to do, you shoot the first missile. Some of them are in bunkers, some of them are in trenches, some of them are hiding here and there, and it's fortified. We're not going to get all of them. So after we hit them, we just assume there are like 300 soldiers there. And then we assume by the first missile, I'm going to kill 10, 20, if I'm lucky, because they're hiding well, they're fortified. But you kill 10, and then you wait. The reaction is shockwave. It doesn't matter how trained you are or how courageous you are, you get a shockwave. Some people are injured, killed, so the others come to help. Crying, screaming people. Then double tap, it comes and taps again. When all those emergency units are there, when all those guys are around to help, double tap. Double tap, then another shock wave comes. Triple tap is you do it again. So, I would like to ask openly all guys, everyone who did that to me in op school. Shame on you. To all of you. I don't know how you, whatever you are in that plane, who shoot that double tap or triple tap, you can sleep at night. I don't know. I always say, you guys want to have a big fight? No problem. We're all fighters. We can have a good fight. Leave civilians out. Not only women and children. Civilians out. This includes men. Not all men are meant to fight. Because women and children, no. Civilians. This includes men. Old man, no. Not every young man is a fighter, should be a fighter. And there is no pride in it to be a fighter. And I can say it because we do practice martial arts. I teach that. There's no pride. People are different. People do different things, and that's good. Not everyone should do the same thing. You want to do that? Do it with yourself, among yourselves, guys. Triple tap. Oh, it was double tap. Double tap on a school? It was triple tap, not double tap. And a school. You know what happened in Mina, Arash John? They got the building, they were hiding in the cellar. Shockwave coming out second. Emergency third. Hiding, huh? Something was being hidden there. This, when you see these things, and but let me just say something. I believe in justice. There is such a thing as called justice. It could be that justice, as someone who works for law firms and all these things, sometimes justice, and as an academic, I'm not superstitious, but there is more than that. You get your justice in this world. As the Indians say, you get your karma. And anyone who did this to me now will get his karma.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And that's what unfortunately wars bring with it, and that's why I'm against war, because innocent people get killed. I read the other day certain rates of killings, and for me it doesn't matter. It could be one person, it could be 80%. This is a pointless war. And like most of the wars which are pointless, I'm against war, and this is something I felt under my own skin. Why is it that an elderly woman must have sleepless nights every night because of the sound or of the shock wave, or why she could sleep, and other people, how can those people who promote or advocate such a bombing then sleep well at night? I mean, you mentioned something interesting. You wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock. This is like for the past 20 something years, every morning, 4 or 5 o'clock, I wake up. I cannot sleep longer. But how can I wish for an elderly person, for a child, for a woman, for somebody who is not a fighter, somebody who is against the system even, or against the regime, or how can I wish for them as an Iranian something like this? So I must not be. So I would like to revise the video. In the video, I said, you are not Iranian if you raise this flag. Today, I would say you are not a human being if you raise such a flag, honestly, because as a human being, you cannot wish other people sleepless nights or injury or death or something like that.
You should.
It cannot.
Doesn't matter where they come from. You cannot.
It doesn't matter where. That of course doesn't matter where it comes from. Of course. I mean, again, we leave politics out because we cannot influence. But what we can influence is me as an individual wishing another individual injury, harm, sleepless nights. It was not nice. And then they bombed this police station a couple 100 meters away from my home, which I hear that one night. But proactively, they removed all this. Every soldier, every police officer was not in buildings. I mean, when the war started, the first day or the second day, they already removed all the officials out of the buildings. They were not in the buildings.
And I just watched some videos which come, like 2 days ago in Tajrish, like so many people there. And it really brings tears to your eyes that you see many shops say, if you don't have money, take it. And when the war is over, come back and pay it.
Yes.
I said it to a managing director, a German friend of mine. He's the managing director of a famous company here. Very nice guy. He loves Iran, a German guy. And he told me today, it is unbelievable. I said, what? He said, in the West, when COVID came, people were beating up each other in the West because of, excuse me, toilet paper.
What are you talking about? For PlayStation, when they release a PlayStation, people are killing each other to get the PlayStation. But I don't know if you have enough time, and I can tell this short
Absolutely,
story.
you have enough time, a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in Iran a couple of years ago, exactly during the pandemic.
Yes.
Exactly during the pandemic, and we had a training for a doctor for doctors in Tehran. And there was this Russian-speaking doctor. And I told her, listen, this is Iran, it's a different country, different rules. It is not Dubai. But if you want to work there, you work there. If you don't want to work there, we cancel it and I get somebody else. And she said, no, I would like to see the country. So we went to the consulate in Frankfurt, issuing her visa. And the moment she saw the consulate, she turned back and said, no, I don't go. And I said, what are you talking? We arranged everything. Everything is set up. I told you in advance. She said, no, I don't want to go in a country where people are forced to wear a scarf. I said, all right.
Oh, God.
I said, all right. I said, you'd get goosebumps. Wait a second. I said, all right, that's fine.
Where was she from, may I ask?
From Siberia.
Siberia.
She then later on moved to Moscow. She said, no, I don't want. So we went back to the car, 5 minutes sitting. After 5 minutes, she said, no, I want to go. No problem. I said, you're sure? Because I don't want to push her, because it's a small business. If you push somebody, something happened, you cannot enter this business anymore. She said, yes, I want to go. So we went in and there was this angry looking lady sitting on the other side issuing visa. And she looked at her passport. She said, what is she doing here? She's from Russia. She should go to the consulate in Russia. I said, lady, it's pandemic. No person is going to Iran right now. Even mans are not going there. It's because it was not allowed. Yeah. I said, please help us out. Our company is based in Frankfurt. If I let her go to Moscow, forget about it. She will never go after visa. Please help us out. She said, okay, only this time I make an exception and I issue her visa. Now, she as a foreigner doesn't speak Farsi. She's looking and she said, why did she issue the visa? She said, she's not. I said, yes, she did an exception. You see, this kind of exceptions you don't have in any other culture in the world.
No, you don't.
Imagine an American embassy, German embassy.
No,
Yes
never.
or no? There is no, but then maybe yes.
No.
Manager, to make the story short, I got 5 more times visa for her through the embassy who said, no, we cannot issue any visa for you. Okay, so 5 more times she went to Iran. So we landed her first time in Tehran. And the plan was to go with the car from Tehran to Takht Jamshid, to Isfahan, Shiraz, and then fly back to Tehran. There is this Iran cell, this cellular provider right at the airport. And I told her, doctor, listen, my suggestion is we go to this provider, get a SIM card, and I have such a portable router, so we have internet throughout the way. She said, yes, let's do it. So I went to the counter, and the counter put the best ever SIM card available in my device, and I handed my credit card to pay. She swiped the card, say the PIN number. I said the PIN number. She said, it's wrong. She swiped the second time. The card number was again, the PIN was wrong. And I didn't remember the number. So I told her, okay, so take back the card. I don't know take back the SIM card. I don't know the PIN number. And she said, no, keep it. I give you the bank number, you transfer later on. I said, no, I don't want to take something with me without paying in advance. My card doesn't work. I don't want the card. So I was fighting with her to give back the product. And she was fighting with me to take the product for free and pay later. And this foreign doctor was standing there and looking, what are they fighting about? Am I negotiating about the price? Or she said, what's going on? I said, nothing. My card doesn't work. She doesn't want to take back the card. She said, pay later. And she said, but what if you don't pay later? I say, I don't know. I told her. The story didn't end yet. We go in the car. The taxi driver drives us all the way to Isfahan. In the car, these discussions continue. And the taxi driver manager is asking me, what are you guys discussing for so many hours? I explained the situation. The taxi driver, yes, you should tell her what kind of warm-hearted people we are in Iran. We are nice people. I said, yes, of course, I told her. The moment the taxi driver dropped us at the Abbasi hotel in Isfahan, he said, I drop you off here. You get a rest. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I pick you up. We make the tour. And then he grabs in his pocket, get out a bunch of bills, money, and give it to me. I said, what is this? He said, your card doesn't work. Take the money you pay tomorrow to me. She was beating herself, the doctor. She said, what? How can this happen? You're supposed to pay the taxi driver. Why is he giving money to you? I said, because he thinks my card doesn't work. And I should not get in trouble. And she couldn't believe the word. She could not believe the word, you know?
Something, you know, I believe.
Yeah. And that's what's happening right now in Tehran, that the shops say, take the food and pay later. This is a normal thing, that people trust each other.